Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Tyranny. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're just to join me today here atop of the mountain spire. Is it the mountain spire? Yes, in Vendrin's Well, in the middle of, well, the tiers, I guess, would be the name of these lands. It's probably got a proper name, but last episode we had trained ourselves finally and found out that we had wasted a few levels, but that's okay. That's fine. Today we need to go out of here, and we're going to Hearth. So apparently we're gonna need to, I don't know, jump through a few more hoops, I guess, to get to deal with the whatever the name of the Brotherhood of Bronze or whatever. We're gonna need to go through some hoops there, but we're going into the Iron Hearth. This massive fortress is perched atop the edge of a tier that helps form the Bladegrave's northern border. Graven Ashe took the ancient castle during the conquest and now launches all Disfavored operations from this well-defended location. And this place looks the Bladegrave. The Bladegrave is the name given to what remains of the realm of Stalwart after its ruination when Kyrus proclaimed the Edict of Storms upon the land. The magical storms struck the Disfavored and Unbroken armies during the height of their engagement. Now most of what remains is a blighted landscape of discarded armor and weapons, and winds high of rust, high winds of rust and human dust. Yeah, this is where Barrick, I think this is where Barrick got his armor. So maybe this is where he's gonna be able to switch it for something new. Anyway, let's go over there to the Iron Hearth. What's the Iron? Yeah, we read about that one. 2 days and 12 hours to go. Are we gonna get ambushed or any? Is there any? No, nothing. Okay, well, let's go there. Oh man, ruination indeed. Holy crap. Yeah, I wonder what those things are. Those jagged, sort of like, oh, it's like the blade. Ooh, we received a message from Rogalus. Oh, good. Because last episode we had sent a message there. Basically, he asked us what we thought about how we took control of the spire and all of that, and we replied in earnest and said that well, it's kind of weird. I don't really know, but I tried to describe the most and asked him for advice. Yours, dear Cora, your summation is most fascinating. Thank you for sharing. You are certainly not the first to proclaim an edict. Many of us have been used to complete the casting of the Overlord's magic, and you aren't the first to break the edict, though that list of names is a smaller, more exclusive list. What's curious, though, is leaving and recording memory make no mention of someone who proclaimed and shattered the same edict. In that regard, you are an anomaly. Yeah, that's right, because we proclaimed the edict at the beginning of the game and then shattered. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so yeah, now I finally understand what they meant by new things. Well, this guy, see, I like this guy. He's easy to understand, straightforward, he knows what's up, he thinks as I do. Anyway, in that regard, you are an anomaly. The bad news is, the Archons know this and will be suspicious of this distinction. Along with this parchment, I have included the contact information of the Honorable Fatebinder Myothes, an old peer of mine and perhaps the most knowledgeable in the court on matters not taught to us by Tunon. Treat her with respect, and she will not betray your confidence. Best of luck, Cora. I think things are about to get even stranger for you. Well, can't really reply to him, but thank you very much. Thank you very much, I guess. And with that, we are gonna go into this land, the winds. So we have stone shields around. Can I talk to them? One quality I share with the chorus: I take delight in interrogating the wicked. Do you? I would follow the great general anywhere, even to the grave. Yeah. Well, these guys... Hit him with your left! Knock him out! Yeah, they're training over there. So they're just doing their business. It's probably not gonna get me anywhere if I just look at them. Even though we probably would. You know, learning from them and all that. Although, they're just soldiers, I guess. So, save the game. Let's go in here. Are these guys gonna say anything? Sir? Iron Hearth is sanctuary for true northerners. We can't guarantee the safety of those who don't respect our ways. Well, let's respect our ways then. Your ways then. We got Alfonso and Halfway's Dead. That's a cool name. Let's have a chat with the guy, I think, or girl. Guy? Alfonso is talking to us. The disfavored soldier chuckles with disdain at the Scarlet Chorus fighter. Consider it? Not for a second. We pick our soldiers from elite northern families. We don't recruit from flies buzzing over a mass grave. Okay, so Halfway's Dead is apparently from the Scarlet Chorus. Are the Disfavored so narrow-minded? My gang's strength delivered us across half a dozen battles with a line of fallen enemies in our wake. Not many conscripts can say the same. Now, the question is not a matter of your skill, but of your breathing, your training, your pedigree. Noticing you, the Iron Guard salutes. Hail, Graven Ashe, Fatebinder. If I might take a moment of your time. Yeah, what do you need? This, person comes representing a Scarlet Chorus gang. What did you call yourselves again? The Greening Bleeders. We have a long and storied reputation in the Scarlet Chorus ranks. Killer of the highest order, my gang. He puffs up his chest with pride. Before I was boss here, I ran with this broken shits, the Salty Nightmares and Trap Gang. Everyone made a name for themselves during the war. You made up at least 2 of those gangs, says Verse, and don't even bother denying it. Just be careful what names you toss around when there's a former boss standing within earshot, you little pissant. One of his eyebrows snaps up at attention. Verse, so kind of you to chime in with your corrections. In any case, says Alfonso, he's asking to join the Disfavored, which is out of the question. I've explained it for the numerous reasons why we can't allow it, but the wretch won't listen. Is that accurate? It is. We're not looking for special treatment, just a new beginning. Seeing as we're wealthy, fit, and combat-ready, the Ironclads should have no reason to refuse us, he sniffs, especially since they're low on numbers. That may be true, says Alfonso, but it's no excuse to pollute our respectable ranks with your company. We're more than capable. Put any weapon in our hands or send us on any suicide mission. It'll be mercy compared to what we faced under the voices of Nerat. Yeah, really? That much is true, at least, says Verse. There's something to be said for a general who isn't going to get you in your sleep because it suits his flair for the artistic. Those are the first fair words I've heard you speak about General Ashe, says Barrick. Perhaps you're coming around. Perhaps she is. Anyway, then you can count on them being the last, you overfull midden pile. Come on, Verse, treat your brother properly. Well, Halfway's Dead says, if we joined up, the Disfavored wouldn't have to compromise their staunch northern morals. We would take the bloody work off their hands. Do you want me to decide the matter? You must know Kairos' law back to front, and I trust you know our traditions as well. If it peels this lamprey off my backside, I'll allow it. Speaking of my gang, says Halfway's Dead, we'll accept your judgment. We're eager to crack some Tearsmen's skulls with Kairos' army again, no matter what color they wear. Let me take your testimony first then. Of course, I have nothing to hide. So why exactly can't the recruits join the Disfavored? Most of us rather swallow our tongues. Oh, he said something. That's Verse talking. Most of us would rather swallow our tongues than take orders from some rigid officer who talked his way into leadership. But to each their own, I guess, says Verse. Where do I start? Goes Alfonso. Not only does Graven Ashe handpicks his Disfavored from the decorated northern stock, he takes a personal interest in our training and education. We are his sons and daughters. To accept anything less in our ranks would hold the very process in contempt. The only capacity they could serve would be manual labor, hauling wagons or digging latrines, but that's the work of slaves and not what they've come requesting. Why this interest in the Disfavored? Better training, better quarters, iron weapons. The Disfavored have everything we wanted out of joining the military. We want to serve Kairos to the best of our abilities. Is that asking too much? Old Ironclad here seems to think so. Their respect for command leaves something to be desired, says Barrick. Yeah, I suppose so. Why did you leave the Scarlet Chorus? Our old gang boss fell at the last battle of Vengeance. Well, we saw how the Disfavored operated and realized it was a chance for a better life. A longer one, too. Desertion happens every day in the Scarlet Chorus. I can tell you that we won't be missed. He says it like he's boasting. Only the shithill recruits who never make a name for themselves are overlooked at muster. Yeah, well, I kind of get the feeling as well. So what is my help worth to you? We're playing that game, are we? Says Halfway's Dead. I managed to pocket a few handfuls of rings. Fair trade for starting a new life. Stealing from the boss is a good way to find yourself at the end of a pike, says Verse. Be prepared to change your name before the end of the war. Yeah, you can train with the Disfavored, but I can't allow you to join. And I get wrath with everybody, including Tunon. That's not a problem. I like Tunon's wrath. He smells nice. What abomination of law is this? Says Alfonso. That'll do. We had an idea this would be the most we could get. If we keep training and show up at a few battles, maybe the Legion will take us up on our offer. Actually, you'll probably just die, but yeah, time will tell. Good luck. And there it is. So getting a little bit of money, not really anything that Alfonso is just uptight. I don't really care what she thinks.
Do you have eyes on this?
I don't think we yeah, I kind of do. I don't think we broke any laws there. It's just I was leaning towards not letting him go in because he clearly doesn't seem to be too good. But well, a little bit of money kind of helps, and let's go with that. So we got Elja's Calling. It's a two-handed arcane damaging thing. Is it good? Maybe. Let's see if she is good with this one. This one, Sigil of Life and Regenerator. It does a little bit more damage. Let's see what that is. So, the Entertainer on this one, plus 15%. Okay, so that's a secondary weapon, not for me. Let's put it over there. Yeah, that's gonna be a little bit better. To control... so basically, it adds to control life, which is good, and... health heavy... Oh, she's gonna regenerate health. Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes.
Pretty good. Halfway's dead. Can I talk to you again? Thanks for letting me stick around. Yeah, I guess that's the least I could do, really. Let's see what else we have. Let me also save the game, because I don't think stealing from them is any problem, but you never know how this goes. Verse is gonna need this. Is this a good weapon for you, maybe? Nah, it's a crappy one, and for you as well, most likely. And for you as well, Barrick, right? Yep, pretty bad. And so that goes into the stash. Very nice.
On it.
So what do we have over here? We got ourselves an Iron Walker. I am cooking stew for the other troops. It's mostly leeks and marrow. Well, that sounds nice, suppose. I gladly laid down my life for the North. Yeah, these guys are very... Achilles. Let's have a chat with the guy. Or girl. Never know. Greetings, Fatebinder. Achilles, 32nd Legion. The soldier salutes. Glad to see Tunun's agent, Grace Iron Hearth. Ashe's troops has no lack of order, but a servant of the court is always welcome. Between our missing commanders and a Scarlet Chorus lieutenant pinned down, I'm afraid we have our hands full. I suppose I can spare a moment for conversation. Need something from me? Yeah, tell me about the Scarlet Chorus lieutenant that you captured. Seems our troops have this little maggot of a Scarlet Chorus lieutenant cornered over at Kaedo village. From what I'm hearing, it's the same guy who's been ransacking our caravans the past few weeks. If I wasn't already handling something for Ashe, I'd go and skin the filth myself. You being here simplifies matters. Make sure this lieutenant doesn't leave the village with his life. Yeah, I'll handle it. Good. Good of you to pitch in. No one will mourn the loss of one more Chorus rat. He marks a location on your map. Well, let's see. Where were you during the conquest? You could say I've seen the tears from top to bottom. I dug latrines at our encampments at the gates of Judgment. Then my promotion sent me to Lethian's Crossing. Got into a few rows with the Bronze Brotherhood. Not a pretty sight. Then I had a brief deployment in Apex, but the fighting was winding down around when I arrived. After that, I did a tour of Stalwart, but got transferred out before the edict tore everything apart. And, well, yeah, you survived that, apparently. Tell me about your home in the north. I hail from Balmywell. Balmywell? Yeah. A small hamlet far west of Kairos' capital. It's nothing glorious, but I can trace 6 generations back there, so it's home. I hope to return there someday with a heap of tales, rings, and renown. Once Graven Ashe gave me his favor and recruited me to join the army, my family went from respectable farmers to elite folk, better regarded or respected than damn near anyone. They must be doing well for themselves. Well, I hope so. How did you join the Disfavored? Ahead of the conquest, Graven Ashe sent recruiters to all the outlying towns, looking for worthy talent. The village held a tourney in melee to demonstrate our local muscle. Nothing fancy, mind you. I was mostly fighting on hay bales with wooden spears. I had the distinction of toppling even the biggest contender. A familiar tale, says Barrick, and one after my own heart. He nods with respect. Well, it's a good thing I succeeded. I'm more useful to Kairos on the field of battle than in a field of wheat. Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, Kairos knows best, I suppose. So we got a new quest. We need to travel to Kaedo Village. That's an interesting name. I like that name. And over there we have an Iron Walker. Let's continue looking around. Actually, this map seems pretty small, so we're gonna be here. Oh, Foxtrick and Ovinus. That means sheep. Ovinus means sheep, right? In Latin? I think so. So, Foxtrick, kind of you to stop and chat. I'm in a sticky situation and no one in my gang is alive or around to help me out. Oh, she's Scarlet Chorus. Stop wasting the Fatebinder's time, says Ovinus. He has better things to do than listen to some criminals meowling. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Tell me what your problem is, soldier. Thanks for hearing me out. The Disfavored aren't keen on conversation, otherwise I wouldn't be here. It's impossible to get a word in edgewise. She glares at her capture. Soldiers caught me outside a branch in the old walls, that's it. I wasn't inside, I hadn't stuck my toe through the threshold, and I wasn't dancing with any bane. I have a healthy relationship with self-preservation. Then why were you arrested? Well, you're only hearing one side of the story, Fatebinder. Our scouts observed this wretch readying to enter the old walls. Her account is flawed, her guilt witnessed by multiple trustworthy northerners. The soldier makes a point of standing extra straight when he addresses you. I'm sorry, is readying to enter the best you have? Because I could just as easily argue that you're readying to get knifed between your shoulder blades, but it doesn't count for shit until I see blood and bronze. Oh, yeah, I didn't go into the old walls. Case closed. Yeah, I suppose. Before I adjudicate on this matter, I need your mutual cooperation. If you ask me, this prisoner has already been tried and sentenced, but if this little game will silence her caterwailing, may then be my guest. I'll stand by your decision, she says. It couldn't land me anywhere worse than this. Oh, yeah, I suppose. So what were you doing outside the old walls? My gang went inside, and as I tried to tell the Disfavored clods 100 times over, I shouted myself raw, trying to get them back out, but the gang was having none of it. Our leader discovered the breach and got himself excited over the chance of finding treasure. Try as I might, I couldn't talk him out of it. Soldier, can you speak to this defense? I wasn't there, of course, but I'm familiar with the arrest record. There was no gang, just a lone opportunist out to make her fortune breaking Kyrus' law. The scouts could tell just by looking at her that she was headed for the breach. She's a fiery one, put up quite a fight when they took her in custody. I have no reason to doubt the charges. So you had no interest in entering the old walls? Never! I grew up in the tiers. Even we knew better than to go inside the old walls. If not because of Kyrus' law, because the things lurking inside would like to eat us. Whatever you can find in the shadows of those ruins, it's not worth the risk. And what was your gang doing in the old walls? Causing trouble? Looting? No more or less than what gangs do, I guess. Our boss was obsessed with holding his position, which is healthy when you're in the Scarlet Chorus. When he came to the conclusion that the old walls might have some powerful artifacts, he resolved himself to find one at all costs. Funny to see a guy so wrapped up in survival trying to get himself killed. Well, typical behavior from someone who isn't confident in their leadership, says Verse. Makes for a nice self-fulfilling prophecy when their own gang takes them down. See, she understands. Foxtrick bows to Verse. Foxtrick. Maybe that name is a little bit telling of what's going on over here. Any idea where your gang is now? I never saw them make it out of the old walls, so either they did or they didn't. My money's on the latter. If they made it out, they aren't wasting their breath trying to find me, so fuck them. I like the attitude, says Verse. If I had a mind to recruit, she would be my second or third. Really? Just because of the attitude? Are you sure? Anyway, what's a favorable ruling worth to you? Oh, I'd love to help you there, but the Disfavored took everything I had. Pity I had a mountain of rings that I could have split. You can thank our mutual friend over here. And she nods to the stone shield. The young lady was captured with some rusted weapons and a pittance of rings. I would hardly call that a mountain. Well, you have your story, I have mine. Really? Because I'm willing to trust Ovinus. He really has no reason to lie here. And he doesn't seem to have been lying from the beginning. But neither is she, to be honest. She's just making it up a little bit. It's just making it out to be a little bit more than she actually says it is. And the distinction that she made clear right at the beginning, because I could as easily argue that you're ready. Basically, it's as easy. This is not... I know what she means. Yeah. Did your gang... I know what she means, but I think I made up my mind already. Did your gang cause the breach in the old walls? What? Are you kidding me? It would either take incredible force or incredible magic to bash through that ancient barrier. We had neither at our disposal. Either one of Kyrus' edicts or some local mage caused the breach. Whatever ruling you make, don't pin that on me. I'm inclined to agree, says Barrick. Don't make the mistake of giving this one too much credit. Yeah, I don't think so, yeah. Okay, well, I'm ready to make my judgment. Let's have it then. I hope you've got everything you need. Well... Why am I going to use lore here? I don't want to use lore. It's interesting because the game... kind of, it doesn't force you to do this, but, you know, knowing that I have this line because of a skill that I have, you know, always, how I want to play that, you know, but I don't want to play that. I don't want to do that. Let's see, on second thought, return to my previous question, no. Yeah, I don't trust your testimony. I find you guilty. And I gain favor with the Disfavored and wrath with the Scarlet Chorus. Good. Is that a fucking joke? Because I'm not laughing. Whether guilty of this or some other atrocity, it makes no difference. She belongs in the chains, says Barrick. I'll just bet you're trying to curry favor with the Disfavored, and I'm sitting in the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, now I'm no one's bargaining chip. Do you hear me? Kyrus Knuckles, you babble loud enough to topple a spire. Fatebinder, thank you for your time. Well, it's okay. Cheap. I wonder if that was also a I think it is. Ovinus is, means sheep in Latin, but I might be wrong. The stall contains spoils acquired on the battlefield, all of it neatly labeled and organized. Nice. I like that. So let's send you over there, see if we get a little bit of subterfuge. We have ourselves a nice bit of armor over here. You can't use that, but you might be able to. No, that's pretty terrible. What about you? Nah, I think... yeah. I'm just gonna... They're good, but they're not good enough, I guess. And also, I'm looking for light armor for her, more importantly. We have Elixir of Resolve. Take that. And we have a guy over here. Hello, sir. Ashe might seem severe, but he's more forgiving than the other Archons. I think he is as well. Well, we can sleep over there. I think so. I thought so as well from the beginning. So we cannot access this place over here through there. We need to go all the way around. So I think we're going the right direction. Who do we have over here? Just a few Iron Walkers. Sir, I've been guarding this portcullis since we took Iron Hearth from its defenders. Well, I don't understand why the Disfavored... Huh. Oh, nice. Why the Disfavored have all of the things slashed out. It's been like that before as well. I just don't really get it. I wonder what it is. I think I got it once when I was looking through the episodes and I found I didn't basically I failed to notice something that I didn't see. But yeah, Orshmia. Oh man, that's a terrible name. Sounds like a I don't know, a booger. You must be a Fatebinder of Tunon. The Disfavored Iron Walker bows. Welcome to the Iron Hearth. I'm sure the Graven Ashe appreciates any help you can offer. Circumstances have a way of coming together so that the Disfavored are always stretched thinner than we would like. What can I do for you? So why are the Disfavored so overworked? She rubs her palms together and frowns. Well, we're trying to shoulder the brunt of the civil war without the strength of numbers. Scarlet Quarters can throw 1,000 disposable bodies at an issue without a second thought, but we're forced to be a little more discriminating. We might be trained to deal with the stress of combat and all-night drills, but we're fatigued even by the high standards we set for ourselves. She studies you in a cautious manner. Not that I need to burden an agent of the court with my misgivings. Once the war is over and the tears are properly subdued, my hope is that Kairos dispatches some relief troops to support the occupation. We all deserve a season of rest. Well, the court is always receptive to the needs of soldiers. Your point has been noted. That's very generous of you to say, Fatebinder. I'm grateful to know that someone is listening. A nervous smile brightens her expression. Of course, you can't see the smile because she's got a mask. It's part of the reason why I can't tell if they're men or women, but yeah. So, where were you during the conquest? After the Edict of Storms hit, I spent some time among the ruins of Stalwart, digging out survivors from the Legion. Afraid I didn't find much. She glances up at Beric. You must have moved on by then, or else we would have assembled a team to excavate you. Well, my prison moved with me. There was no reason till tarry. He bows his head and respectfully. I still think that about the brothers and sisters we left behind. Sometimes I can imagine that I hear their voices carry on wind. I'll be on my way then. Thank you very much. Okay, we have something else over here. The production of new potions isn't keeping up with the mend. Many of these bottles remain empty. Okay, well, there's a dog over there, and there's Zaphilos over there. Okay, take that. And I think this would loop back around, although it might be accessible through some other way. Who's this guy saying? Good to see you, Fatebinder. I hope you're representing the Disfavored whilst out on adventures. Yeah, who are you, sir? The soldier hums a northern lullaby to herself. Or maybe, lady. Yeah. Zephylos. Even though you're not a fully fledged Disfavored recruit, he says, I've been authorized to grant you purchasing rights from our store. Within certain limits, of course. Would you like to see what we have on offer? What limits are those? Well, it's nothing personal, I assure you. Graven Ashe wants us to control our supplies without restricting access to his army's supporters like yourself. The finest arms and freshest provisions are reserved to the soldiers under his direct command. I'm sure you understand. The Archon takes our protection very seriously. Understood. Let's see what you can offer me. Okay, so he sells some stuff. I have a little bit of money. Just a tiny little bit. I have 140 bronze rings, and there's some pretty powerful stuff over here. There's no increase in... Why is there no... Oh, this is a throwing weapon, isn't it? So, one-handed and thrown weapons. Binding Oath. Can you use it as... Oh, you got ranged attack. You can throw... Oh, I see how it is. That's pretty good. Of course, we're not going to need that, but we got Iron Guard armor. Oh, that's an upgrade on everything. Plus, that's a really good upgrade right there. We're going to get the stuff on our way. I think we'll be fine there. I probably am going to be on the look... Once I basically set myself up in terms of money and all that, I should be okay to buy a few unique items every once in a while, but for right now, I think we'll stay as we are. So, we're going to trade that, gain a little bit of money, move on with our lives.
I can't.
You can't go down there?
Sure. Will do.
So, we talked to all these guys, enable fast mode, and let's go into the actual... camp, or not camp, a castle, whatever. It's a castle, right? Yeah, it said that it was taken by Graven Ashe. Is there anybody here that wants to talk to us? Stone shields. Let's go left. Graven Ashe! It's good to see you again, my friend. And of course, I'm gonna try to suck up to him as much as possible. Not that he doesn't respect me, but he's got the most of respect for him. Let's see what he does. Fatebinder, no one in recent history has reached the pinnacle of a spire, and yet you stepped to the top as if they were intended for your occupation. What do you have to say for yourself? Well, okay, so this is actually a... They offer certain strategic advantages. I'm still figuring it out. If they help me conduct this war, then you should have nothing to complain about. Let's go with this one, see if he can help us. I'm still figuring out what it could mean. Take care with your curiosity, then. If the arcana behind the spires has been lost, there is likely a good reason behind it. I would hate to lose a capable agent due to some calamity. What is it you require? So how can I continue my service to the Disfavored? These are troubled times for all, but none more so than the forces of Kairos. Our organized defense has splintered. Loyalties are challenged at every level of command, and much that we have built during the conquest crumbles under its own weight. We had thought the Vendrian Guard were the final death rattle of this region's defiance. We were wrong. The Tears have risen up against Kairos, emboldened by their countrymen, and while the Disfavored labor to maintain order, that serpent, the Voices of Nerat, grows his army of lunatics and sellswords, preparing to lash out when we least expect it. I can only imagine that the Voices is driving his gangs mad with plots to storm this fortress, says Verse. Yeah, there can be no peace while the Voices of Nerat leaves, and no order while the Scarlet Chorus rampage across the lands. The elimination of chaos must be our first priority, then we will have our time to govern the Tears as Kairos intended. Can I depend upon your support against this scourge? Tell me more of the Tears uprising. I try not to bother myself with the details. These objectors will be dealt with and forgotten soon enough. I know of the Unbroken, a group of former stalwart miscreants that arose in the Blade Grave, arming themselves with a misguided sense of national pride. Beyond then, the dissident elements of this fallen realm interest me little. What would you have me do? Our position of authority in the Blade Grave is far from secure. We need to establish ourselves in the region in order to cultivate our strength for the battle to come. As soon as I am confident in our chances, we will depart this realm and wipe the Chorus threat from the face of Terratus. The Unbroken, former daughters and sons of Stalwart, vex our efforts to secure this region. The Edict of Storms offers them cover. They sleep past our patrols in the light of day, hiding their movements behind clouds of dust and debris. Kairos cast this blight on the country to set an example, not to plague those of us loyal to the north. You must travel to Sentinel Stand and seek out Stratus Herodine. He is the last of the old Stalwart bloodline, who called themselves regents, but put him to the sword and end his edict once and for all. Oh, that's right, that's the guy! Yeah, that's right, this guy, as long as he's the betrayer, right? He's the last of the old Stalwart's bloodline to call themselves regents. Maybe not, but the edict... I know what an edict is, but I think so. Yeah. So, didn't we read about him? Who's Stratus Herodine? The last of an elder bloodline that ruled Stalwart and maintained its dignity. He's also a filthy coward. During the last battle of Stalwart, he crouched behind the walls of Sentinel Stand Keep and refused to meet our forces on the field of battle. Yeah, I think so. As long as he leaves, the edict is gonna stay. Why is he important to the edict? He would neither surrender nor impel the soldiers to do so. As such, Kairos decreed that the storms would ravage the country until the regent was dead. Stratus Herodine was free to kill himself, of course, but he was either too proud or too gutless for the task. Or he had something else in mind. But anyway, we're out of time for the day, so we're going to continue reading about our next quest for Graven Ashe here. I wonder what quest would be for the Voices of Nerat if we had sided with him. Probably he'd be plotting to kill us or something. But this guy doesn't seem to be bowing too much to he doesn't seem to admire us as much as I thought he would, even though he's got favor 5, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. For now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Tyranny. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.